In this lesson, I am going to demonstrate how to convert the basic bodice block pattern into an A-line frock pattern for children's wear. You have to place the basic front bodice block on a fresh sheet of manila craft paper, and you have to trace the outline of the pattern. Label the underarm point as U and the side waist point as W. See to it that there is enough paper on the side and at the bottom of the bodice block. Now at the waistline here at center front, you have to measure down knee length. For the age group 5-year-old, the knee length is 37 centimeters. Now at the end of this line, you have to draw one horizontal line. I've marked it as a dotted line because this is the provisional hemline. This is not the actual hemline. Now from the underarm point U, you have to draw one straight vertical line touching this provisional hemline. Now this also is a dotted line as it's again a provisional side seam. The silhouette that you see now is called as shift silhouette, but we do not want this silhouette. We are looking to create a line silhouette. The point where this vertical dotted line is intersecting the hemline is point B. From B, you can measure out about 4 centimeters horizontally and mark point E. With this, you are adding some extra flare at the bottom of hemline near the side. Mark this point as E. Now connect U to E with a slant line. By doing this, you are creating an A-line tent silhouette. If you want the bodice to be fitted until the waistline and from there you want to create an A-line silhouette, then instead of joining point E to the underarm point, you can join it to point W. Now from E, you have to measure up 1 centimeters to reshape the hemline. Hemline is never a perfect straight line with a sharp corner. Now on this hemline, you have to figure out the midpoint and mark point M. You have to connect F to M with a slight curve like this. All the lines that you see in green is the new altered pattern for front A-line frock. Follow the same procedure to create the A-line tent frock pattern for back. First, you have to draw the outline of the pattern on a sheet of paper. So you can see that I have placed a paper weight on this. If you want, you can put pearl pins and keep these two sheets together. I am doing it with sketch pen, but you have to do with pencil. Now at center front, from the waistline, you have to measure down 37 centimeters. This is the knee level measured from waistline. Now from the center front, at the bottom of this line, you have to draw one horizontal line. So this is the hemline. Now from the side seam, you have to draw a vertical line until the hemline. So supposing this is reference point E, then from here you can go out by about 4 centimeters. This is reference point E dash. So you're just making the width of hemline little wider. Now you have to connect this E dash point to the underarm point. So I'm just labeling the underarm point as U here. So very lightly you have to draw a slant line connecting to the underarm point. And see if the silhouette is okay. So if you are not happy with the shape, maybe from point E you could extend a little more. Maybe this E dash point could be 6 or 8 centimeters wider. But if you are happy with the silhouette, then you can mark the new side seam strongly. Now you have to give a slightly curvy shape to the hemline. From E dash point on the side seam, measure up about 1 centimeter. I am just labeling this point as F, and also measure the width of your new hemline, and you have to mark the midpoint. I am labeling this point as M. Now with a slight outward curve, you have to connect M to F like this. So your hemline is not a perfect straight horizontal line, it's a slight curvy line. So all these new lines I am marking more strongly. So if you want, you can use a color pencil to avoid any confusion. So the lines that I am showing in green is the outline of the A-line frock pattern. So this is the outline of the pattern. You can write all the pattern information on it. Remember to draw the grain line and label the pattern as A-line frock, front and 5-year-old. Now it's entirely up to you whether you want to keep front open or back open. If you're keeping this back open, then front will be on fold, cut one piece. That means on fold of fabric, and this is a symbol that you use for on fold, and this would be cut one piece. So you have to write that information on the pattern. Now you can cut out this pattern. Now similarly you have to create the back pattern.
So firstly you have to trace the back basic borders. I am using dashed lines to trace the pattern, and later I will mark it strongly. Now just like how you did for front, you have to extend the length of this borders until the knee level. That means from the waistline you have to measure knee level, which is about 37 centimeters for a 5-year-old child, and at that point you have to draw a horizontal line, which is the new hem line, and from the side at the side waist you have to extend the side seam downward. I am drawing here a dotted line because this is just a guideline. This is not the real outline of the pattern. Now let's assume that this is point E, and from E you have to go out 4 centimeters horizontally and mark point E dash, and now when you connect the E dash point to the underarm point U, you will get the A-line shape. If you want, you can add more flare at the hemline by increasing this length from 4 centimeter to 8 centimeters or more. So very lightly I am drawing a line connecting point E dash to point U. This is just to make sure that the silhouette is right. Now I am going to mark this line strongly. Now you have to mark the midpoint on this hemline. This is point M, and from E dash you have to measure up 1 centimeter. This is to give the hemline a slight curvy shape. Now you have to connect point M to F with a slight curve like this. This is the new hemline shape. Now all the lines I am going to connect with a green line. So this is center back. Now on this you have to write all the pattern information. This is A-line frock back, 5-year-old, and since you are keeping an opening at back, this will be cut in 2 pieces. So you have to write cut 2 and also remember to mark the green line. Now I am going to cut on the outline of the pattern. So this is your back A-line frock pattern for the age group 5-year-old. So these are the patterns for A-line frock. Now if you want, you can create a nice Peter Pan collar pattern. You could also change the neckline pattern, maybe into a nice sweetheart neckline, or maybe an illusion neck. You can change it to halter neck if you are making summer wear styles, or you could also attach a nice puffy sleeve or a bell sleeve to the armhole.
This is a change of style that you can apply for a summer frock. You can reduce the width of the shoulder seam. All you have to do is from shoulder point, you can go inside about 3 centimeters and mark the new shoulder point N. Now from the underarm point U, you have to draw the new armhole curve. Follow the same changes for the back frock pattern. In fabrics, look for fabric designs that are suitable to be used in girls' wear. Use sensible fasteners that are easy for kids to use, like snap fasteners or zippers. The choice of fabrics depends on the occasion for which you are designing this frock. Polyester crepe and satin or silk is suitable for party frock, whereas chambray, cool cottons, and napped fabrics are suitable for casual wear attire. You will also need double-sided fusible for hem finishing, fusible paper canvas for finishing necklines and armholes with facing, snap fasteners and invisible zippers in matching color. You will also need matching color sewing thread. For drafting the pattern, you will need ruler and pencil, French curve, manila craft paper, yellow carbon paper for tracing purpose, body measuring tape and eraser.